This is Future Talk.
Future Talk.
Future Talk with Amin Al Zarouni and Hani Balkis.
Welcome back to Future Talk right here on Pulse 95. It is me, Hani Balkis, with Omnia Salah. I'll bring you everything you need to know about what's happening in the tech world and in the UAE. But ladies and gentlemen, today we're talking about the skies because 5G phones could actually interfere with aircraft signals. And you know, when we talk about aircrafts and we talk about planes, you know the first thing that comes into mind, Omnia?
What, ممر السعادة?
This is your captain speaking. That's the first thing that comes to mind. And I mean, 5G interfering with airplanes, that's kind of crazy.
Does this mean I have to leave my iPhone 12 outside the airplane
Well,
when I
put
head
in
in?
airplane mode.
Well, that's going to be a very sad sight to see, to be honest, especially because we do know lots of people tend to ignore putting their phones on airplane mode whenever they go ahead and get into a flight. But coming up on the show as well, lots is happening in the world of apps because we're going to be talking all about Instagram, making it easier for people to fight their eating disorders. They're adding a brand new feature that will help support all those who are currently seeking therapy to help solve those issues.
Yes, I'm very glad that Instagram and social media, they're now kind of being aware of mental disorders, being aware that social media does play a big role on a person's mental health. But ladies and gentlemen, today we have a very special interview, a live in-studio interview. Now, usually we get Zoom interviews, but today we have a live in-studio interview with Amin Al Zarouni.
Yes, he is the CEO of SAHAB Smart Solutions, and anyone living right here in Sharjah knows that governmental services have slowly been transitioning to be completely digital, and the CEO of SAHAB Smart Solutions has definitely had a big role in doing that. We're going to be talking about the ongoing projects that they currently have with Sharjah government regarding the development of a world-class digital platform for a wide range of business and public services through their different applications. We have a packed show in store. You definitely don't want to miss out on that, so make sure you stay tuned and keep Pulse 95 logged.
Daily digital news. Bits and bytes connect our world.
Your quick roundup of everything that is happening in the tech world, in the UAE and around the world. We've always heard people talk about putting our phones on airplane mode whenever we are in a flight. When it's taking off and when it's landing is when you should always have it on airplane mode, but it's also preferable to keep it on airplane mode at all times. But with 5G phones becoming the brand new trend, there is certain research that is actually showing that 5G phone technology could interfere with aircraft signals.
Yes, this is your captain speaking. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we have just found out that new 5G phone technology could actually interfere with these aircraft signals. Now, phones that use technology should be switched off during the flights. Now, we've always heard that. Now, back in the day, a lot of people used to bring their laptops when they're on business trips, and it was always recommended during takeoff and landing to turn those off, but we kind of swept it under the rug. But with new 5G technology, we're looking at another potential danger, and that is because of signal interference from a close frequency source of a strength that is similar or even superior to that of the altimeters.
Yes, so this interference could actually be so damaging to the aircraft, especially during the landing and the takeoff. It could be very critical that it impacts how the plane operates. So bulletins have been issuing to airlines last week recommending every person who owns a 5G phone to either have it completely turned off or switched on to the airplane mode during the flight. So yeah.
I'm thinking of being smart, Omnia.
Okay.
Put it on 4G.
Wow. Honestly?
Like, really, what if you just put it on 4G?
You still have the 5G capabilities within the phone.
But I'm not transmitting 5G.
You're not using the signals.
I'm not asking for 5G. I'm not giving back 5G.
I think aircraft should be
my friend is
on.
a pilot. I will ask him
if 5G
if I can put on. It's not like I'm going on flights every couple of days. I mean, I haven't gone on a plane only in over a year and a half.
Wow.
2018.
Okay, a year is understandable.
2018.
That's know we're in 2021.
I love Sharjah. What can I say? I love Sharjah. I don't want to go anywhere else. I don't need to go anywhere else. But it was also recommended in cases of disruption to the aircraft equipment that even the flight crew immediately notify air traffic controllers who can then alert airport authorities. So it's even looking to become an offense.
Yes.
Because that's how severe the situation is right now.
Absolutely, because the strength of signals from 5G base stations have actually been also impacting different airports. So we're not just looking at the phones of the people within the flight, but also every single base of 5G, every single station that is actually positioned in the country. Nowadays, many countries have been trying to strategically place them in locations away from airports to make sure that they're not impacting any flights, takeoff or landing. Now, they're continuously monitoring the 5G base stations in certain countries, one of them being France, so that they can make sure that the radio frequencies coming out of those stations don't impact any flight whatsoever.
I mean, we always kind of knew this, that technology could interfere with the two most important parts of your flight, which is the takeoff and landing. And I mean, even if you're looking at it as a broader picture, even air traffic controllers are not allowed to have a phone inside the air traffic center. They need to have the phones outside. Number one, to not make them distracted. And number two, for the interference of signals. But, ladies and gentlemen, we want to know your guys' thoughts. 4215 do it slots or on our Instagram at Pulse95 Radio. Are you upset that your brand new 5G phone cannot be used on a flight? I mean, regardless, when you're up in the air, you don't have any signal. But ladies and gentlemen, we're going to come back with a very special interview with Amin Al Zarouni.
Yes, he is the CEO of SAHAB Smart Solutions that has been actively helping Sharjah become a completely digital government. If you're living right here in Sharjah, this is an interview you do not want to miss out on. So make sure you keep Pulse 95 locked and we'll be right back.
This is Future Talk.
Future Talk.
Future Talk with Amin Al Zarouni and Hani Balkis.
Now, welcome to the show. And can you talk to us about the ongoing project with the Sharjah government regarding the development of a world-class digital platform for a wide range of business and public services through its user-friendly app?
I'm happy that you guys are starting big. This is definitely, if I may say, one of the biggest initiatives in the Emirate of Sharjah, and one of the biggest initiatives that we as SAHAB are actually running in partnership with the Higher Committee of Digital Transformation in Sharjah, which is led by Sheikh Fahim and Sharjah Digital Office. It's an initiative that definitely gonna have a big impact. And the reason I say this is really a big initiative, it's because not of the size of the project or the amount that this project is actually required to invest in. It's the impact that this project will create in all the citizens, all the residents, all the visitors, all the investors that would like to come to the Emirate. The impact that it will create on how the services will be integrated, automated between government entities is the transformation that we're trying to make. So that's why this initiative is definitely one of the biggest that we are running at the moment.
And I love it. I do believe that we need to go to a fully digital type of formation.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. For sure, we should not say that, or we should thank many of the government entities that already went with their services online. When we say that we are doing this digital platform, which is the Sharjah Digital Platform, it's basically having all these services getting integrated with each other, where I create a journey for that citizen. He basically have a specific service. If you want, I can basically put a use case. If an entrepreneur, let's say, or a citizen wants to open a small restaurant or a cafe, there are so many departments that he has to integrate with, or so many departments that he has to basically interact with, be it municipality, be it town planning, or be it civil defense for some NOCs and stuff like that. I can be smart enough, and I talk now if I am the platform. So if I am the platform, I should be smart enough. The moment that person requests a trade license for a restaurant, I should be smart enough in asking him, do you actually need your internet line? Do you need your electricity line? Do you need your NOCs from X, Y, and Z? And that get automated in the background for him. Why he has to basically go and avail each of these services individually. So this is what we mean by moving digital and having all of these services are integrated.
And it will encourage a lot of individuals to actually go ahead and start their very own businesses, because there's a set path for them to follow. They know exactly step A, step B, step C, and it's all being done with a tap, rather than moving across many kilometers between every place and the other.
100%. Imagine one single stop shop for citizens to have
and it's
all the government services
on the palm of your hands.
Exactly. It's accessible in your mobile device, it's accessible on the web, and you can avail all government services on one platform. Now, for sure, there are phases and there are steps that we're going to go through. The more we basically start introducing more services, there will be more value and more impact that the platform will create.
100%. Let's talk a little bit about cost, because we do know that we love saving costs, especially in the age of COVID-19. Everyone has been trying their best to be as budget conscious as they can. So how can the use of technology and digitizing these services help businesses save costs as well?
any digital transformation or any digital initiative in business brings value for the organization. It could be value of increasing the revenue stream. It could be value of optimizing and their business process. At the same time, one of the objectives could be reducing cost because I can maintain and can optimize the expenses that I have. I would basically answer your question in an example. There is an initiative that we started with Sharjah Asset Management.
Okay.
And it's basically the holding company of the one that founded SAHAB. And that initiative it's an organization that is growing rapidly from their business units, from their JVs, and from the companies that they are establishing. And with that growth comes tremendous cost because you're growing and you're investing in technology, you're investing in infrastructure, etc. We came up with an idea that if we consolidate and we optimize that technology infrastructure and we manage to serve multiple players that belongs to the same holding company, then you manage to basically optimize cost. And with that initiative, we basically managed to reduce between 20 to 25 of their operating cost on technology. And that's where technology comes becomes valuable and becomes basically beneficial for businesses.
I mean, we're looking at a lot of benefits when we go fully digital.
Yes, indeed. And smart cities, one of them being Sharjah now, have definitely been moving in the right footsteps to make this become reality for all of its citizens. We're going to be taking a short break, but once we come back, we're going to be talking all about the integrated digital business platform for Sharjah Civil Defense, as well as the process of developing the Emirate's first e-commerce platform for Souq Al Jubail. Make sure you keep Pulse 95 locked because we're going to be right back.
This is Future Talk.
Future Talk. Future Talk with Amin Al Zarouni and Hani Balkis.
Smart cities are no longer just a concept or a dream of the future, and Sharjah is a living example of that. Many governmental services are using innovation, IoT, and wireless technology to help connect residents and citizens to their services seamlessly. SAHAB Smart Solution is one company that is actually also helping out with that. They're a trusted technology partner of the Government of Sharjah, and today they are leading the digital transformation journey of the Emirate. Joining us is the CEO of SAHAB Smart Solution, Mr. Amin Al Zarouni, who's been telling us all about how amazing it is to go ahead and digitize all services, especially if we want a seamless life when we're living right here in Sharjah. Thanks a lot for joining us.
Welcome, for sure. Thanks for hosting me again.
It's amazing. And I always love the off-topic conversation, off-air conversations when we're having such an interesting guest like yourself. But can you talk to us about the integrated digital platform when it does come to the Sharjah Civil Defense, and what services can citizens and residents access through it?
Yeah, definitely. This is another initiative that we have been trusted with. When we gained the trust of being a technology partner for Sharjah government, there has been so many entities that were reaching out to us to see how we can help them transform their existing business and how they can basically ease the interaction with their clients and with their customer as well as with their partners. And this initiative with Sharjah Civil Defense, for sure, we basically raised the hat for them for all the efforts that they have been putting last year and also continuing with the pandemic and all the efforts that they are putting to keep the city safe. It's a platform that enabled all their services to be available online on all digital channels, as well as getting it integrated with other departments. So they have fully integrated back-end system between themselves as well as the other government entities in the Emirate, as well as giving these services in the multiple channels for citizens, for partners, for investors, for consultants, to be availed on a digital manner.
Absolutely. And it's definitely great to see users also be able to make the most out of this. Coming up on the show, we're going to be talking all about how SAHAB is currently also in the process of developing the Emirate's first e-commerce platform for Souq Al Jubail, and what is the expected date for this platform to be released. If you have any questions for Mr. Amin Al Zarouni, make sure you share them with us at 4215 do it to Salat or sign into our DMs at Pulse 95 Radio. Keep Pulse 95 locked. We'll be right back.
This is Future Talk.
Future Talk. Future Talk with Amin Al Zarouni and Hani Balkis.
The digital transformation of Sharjah is coming not a moment too soon. Even before the COVID-19 crisis hit, businesses worldwide started to realize the impact of moving their business models to be completely online, which has definitely helped create a big move when it comes to digital transformation. And then the pandemic hit, and this put the scenario on fast forward move. Now, SAHAB Smart Solutions is a trusted technology partner of the Government of Sharjah, and today they're actually leading the digital transformation journey of the Emirate. The CEO of SAHAB Smart Solutions, Mr. Amin Al Zarouni, has been telling us all about the different projects that they're currently working on to help facilitate the different governmental services that we get for both residents as well as citizens. Thanks a lot for joining us.
Honestly, I'm having so much fun talking on air and off air with you, Amin. But let's go and talk about how SAHAB is also in the process of developing the Emirate's first e-commerce platform for Souq al-Jubail. Can you talk to us about it and what could it actually provide for citizens living right here in Sharjah?
That's project. I'm very passionate about this project specifically. First of all, it's a partnership that we built with our partner called Seafood Souk, which is basically, the way I like to describe them is that they are a platform network where they connect multiple fishermen around the world. And then we partner with them in developing this e-commerce platform or the marketplace platform for Souq al-Jubail. And we are doing this for business to business as well as business to citizen. Or I like to call it the other way around. I like to call it citizen to business, because the citizen is reaching out to business. And the way we are creating this platform is that we are transforming the way the fish business is, or the delivery of the fish business in the Emirate. You look at the market, you look at Souq al-Jubail, which is managed by, again, Sharjah Asset Management. It's one of the amazing markets we have in the Emirate. And the way they operate it, operationally there, it's amazing. You go there and you get impressed, with how things are being operated. But then I want to order fish on a Friday. I want to order specifically salmon, and I want to order hamur as well. And I want to basically have that either cooked or I want that to be fresh.
Apologies for everyone tuning in and who feels hungry.
I want that to be in the step of my door on a Friday for lunch. Now, that's what we created. We created basically that platform that enables citizens to basically come and order that fish. And if that salmon exists in Sweden, you're going to get that traceability basically to prove that salmon got caught in Sweden and came back to you.
And that's very important because a lot of people are with getting wild caught salmon and not necessarily I think it was, I don't remember.
I don't know my fish.
Other type of salmon that wasn't as good.
True. You need to basically make sure that is that farmed or is that caught, or the quality. Yeah. And that makes a difference for restaurants, for example, for chefs, with hotels. Then when you're going to go there, they care about the quality of the fish that
they have a
receiving.
Reputation to take care of.
Exactly.
I mean, you're getting all the information. Who would know? Who would think of it? I mean, I wouldn't think of it. I'll be honest with you. To have fish delivered to your doorstep from one of the biggest, if not the biggest in Sharjah, Souq al-Jubail.
Yeah.
I mean, it is amazing.
And it's keeping heritage and culture alive because, growing...
The fishermen are still doing what they do.
Exactly.
True.
And Souq al-Jubail is a very big traction point for any tourists 100%. Coming to Sharjah.
Yes, 100%. Tune in. There will be a lot of announcement on this project. It's gonna come live soon. And the citizen will be able to basically order the fish and have their lunch at home. And maybe you can order it cooked as well. And the platform will suggest to you the best way of cooking it.
Oh, phenomenal. Well, we want to sneak peek right here.
You know what I like to call that, Umnia? Bita' kullu, a full package.
No, anyway, take it. The first time my mother asked me to go and get a fish from the market and she gave me the name, I went there and I thought that's going to be an easy task.
Yeah.
I went there and oh my God. There's so many fish that I don't know what are they, But now I can go online and I can search for it and I can order it. And guess what? If it suggests for me what are the spices that I need,
that's it. You go pick up the spices and you do the fish.
Pick up the spices or add them to the cart and then fulfill it.
Perfect. Well,
I love it.
I love it too. And we want to know, what is some of the expected dates for the release of this platform?
That's why I said tune in. There will be an announcement coming in.
I think we're a little bit too excited, Omnia and I.
Yeah. There is already a soft launch going on right now.
Perfect.
It's by invitation. We are basically testing everything that's going smooth. And then soon, inshallah, there will be the platform going live.
Phenomenal. And we're definitely going to be keeping you right here on Future Talk updated whenever that launches as well.
Yes. Now, there's a question that Omni and I have been kind of so eagerly to ask you about it because this type of information, it actually opened my mind today.
Yes.
And you told us the difference. What is the difference actually between digital services and e-services?
Yeah, that's a topic I personally face challenge whenever I go to businesses and try to convince them to move their services to a digital service or establish a digital journey for your business.
Yeah.
There is a reason why governments operated in the past by being called an e-government model, and then they moved to an m-government model, and then they started moving to smart and digital model.
Okay.
And that is not just a name change. They didn't change the E to M to smart. There is a reason why that evolved. The philosophy of how I handle my services, my government services changed. The mindset changed, and even the way the processes are orchestrated, integrated, has to change. And that's why when I call an e-service, I can have my services available on a mobile channel as well as on a web channel. And that's where it becomes an e-service. But when I say digital service, it's where I have my services integrated with other departments, where I enable the input as well as the output digitally. I don't need to have any hard copies in between. I don't need to have to follow up manually with any other step. If it is, that service has to be integrated with another department, another government entity, then that integration happens also on the digital platform. And that's when I achieve digital service. That's when I create a journey for the citizen and the consumer.
And you gave a great example when you're talking about, for example, moving apartments.
Oh, yeah.
I loved it.
We had a lot of chat.
Off air,
This is one of the services that we are working on that's going to come in the next releases of the Digital Sharjah platform. Imagine, I asked you if you live in an apartment, right? And
Yes.
you told me yes. And I told you right now, if you want to move out and move into an apartment, there is so many transactions you have to do. First of thing, you have to think of canceling your internet line, you have to cancel your electricity line, and then you have to basically cancel the contract and then
Everything.
you have, and then you have to
Keeping
repeat
it
all that, right? You have to repeat
Yeah.
all that with the new apartment. But why should you do that individually? All what we are trying to create that journey where a person goes online on the platform and says, I'm moving from this unit, which is registered in the government.
Yes.
I'm moving to this new unit, which is also registered in the government. And then the platform becomes intelligent enough to ask you, do you want to transfer your lines? Do you want to cancel this line or request a new line then? And all what you say is yes or no, yes or no.
So it becomes as easy as changing phones. You know, nowadays, whenever you buy a new iPhone, the iPhone recognizes that you had an older iPhone and just transfers all the information.
Exactly, and then transfer the whole information for you. So why cannot I achieve that? Now I am simplifying it way too much. But there are complications. But if I simplify that process, where a move in, move out becomes less headache for the citizen or the resident, then there are so many other services that you can even simplify, and so many other, government services that you can transfer.
Absolutely.
I mean, he gave the perfect example when we were talking about having the bank in the palm of your hands. You can even open a new checking account in the palm of your hands. So why can't government services be as easy?
Yes, definitely. And with that comes having the right mindset, because the digital transformation journey of the Emirate of Sharjah depends heavily on how we also react to it. So I want to hear from you, Mr. Amin Al Zarouni. What characteristics do you believe should residents as well as businesses have to help aid this digital transformation?
I guess I will reverse that on you, Omnia, because I believe that citizens and residents are way ahead in where they're thinking. We need to basically change the characteristics of how we deal with services and how we deal with the processes, and we need to basically catch up with the way they are interacting with the digital platform. Everybody nowadays is interacting with digital channels, digital platforms. They are on their mobile devices most of the time during the day. I told you yesterday that my grandma uses Snapchat nowadays.
She's new on Snapchat.
And she basically even get mad if I don't send her stuff.
Oh, wow.
But if they are digital savvy, and you have a new generation coming out as well from the academy and coming to the market, and they are digital savvy, they know how to use digital platforms. So governments, businesses have to transform the way they are actually interacting with their operation and with their businesses. So it's the other way around. We have to catch up.
You heard it from the man himself, Mr. Amin Al Zarouni. I loved having this interview, and I'm very excited about what you and SAHAB are going to bring in the near future. And I guess we just have to wait.
Yes, anyone living right here in Sharjah, I'm sure you will be very excited to hear about the latest updates coming from SAHAB's partnership with the Government of Sharjah. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much. It was a pleasure to be with you.
Thank you. It was a pleasure to listen to you. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be taking a short break, but we're not done yet. So keep Pulse 95 locked, because we're going to be right back.
Pulse 95.
Apps all around.
What's worth a click and download?
Lots is happening in the world of application, and let's talk a little bit about Instagram, because they have taken it upon themselves to help raise awareness for eating disorders. If you struggle with an eating disorder, I'm sure it's not easy to log on to the app and see people posting about their meal plans, people posting about their summer bodies, and there tends to be a lot of comparison when it comes to comparing body types, but also health plans and what do you eat and when do you eat what you eat.
To be honest, ladies and gentlemen, my face still hurts from smiling so much during the interview. Mr. Amin Al Zarouni was one of my favorite
Same here.
for the time we have hosted Future Talk. But going back and talking about Instagram and how they're announcing that it's going to be adding resources for people who are affected by eating disorders to its social platform. Now, again, it is so important to kind of mind what we look at on social media, because we don't even think about it as much anymore, because again, this has become as our daily routine. We open our Instagram, we go through social media, and unconsciously we look at things and it does affect us, and we don't even know it affects us. Our brain processes it, but your conscious mind doesn't process it. So Instagram jumping on the eating disorder area and looking
awareness.
on awareness and trying to make more people aware that, hey, listen, we have the solution for you.
Yes, and if you as a user go ahead and search for hashtags or content that is potentially related to disordered eating, then Instagram will go ahead and guide you to certain resources or helplines that are provided to help you seek the help and the therapy that you would go ahead and need. Now, Instagram did say that they're currently trying to basically blur out any potentially triggering content in their search results. Now, this is very important because we tend to see a lot of content on Instagram, especially when it comes to food, to fitness, to body types, to getting that perfect summer body when there's no really perfect nowadays, especially with COVID-19.
Everyone's a fitness expert on Instagram.
Exactly. And
Hani Fit, Omnia Fit, what else do we got? Muhammad Fit. Everyone has fit in their name.
Everyone has a trainer on the
Everyone's a
bio.
specialized trainer. So, I mean, hats off to them, taking care of their body, 100%. But again, we're looking at Instagram becoming the platform where a lot of people are jumping on it to promote health and wellness, health and fitness. 100%.
Yes.
I'm with it. But unfortunately, some people have problems in life and they suffer from problems. So this type of content may trigger something in their brain that will be harmful to them. And we need to mind that. We need to mend that. Hey, listen, some people go through things and we can't just post anything on Instagram.
Or
now,
at least post a caution before it.
Caution.
So, like with sensitive content nowadays on Instagram, if there's like a scene of a shooting or a scene of anything,
car
that's
accident, for
a car
example,
accident, you'd immediately get a black screen that says that the content you're about to witness is sensitive. So if you don't want to go ahead and witness it, skip over.
And even people who suffer from epilepsy.
Yes, epilepsy.
Epilepsy, yes. They have hey, there's going to be lots of lights and flashing. Or do you have it or do you not? Is it okay with you? And you press yes. So again, going and talking about eating disorders, it does fall in line with how we should kind of have caution. We have to be responsible when we're online. And I believe now a lot of people say, but the internet is a free space. The internet is that, yes, 10 years ago, 15 years ago, not a lot of people were using the internet. Now everyone and their mama uses the internet.
It's a free space, but we can still be mindful to what we are going, especially friends and loved ones. We all go through our very own mental struggles and mental battles. So it's nice to see social media platforms stepping up their efforts. Now, I think Instagram got a little bit jealous from TikTok because this update is very similar to what TikTok announced earlier this week, with also pointing out users for eating disorder specific resources whenever we see any videos that are talking about fitness and mental health and sticking to a certain diet or sticking to a certain routine. TikTok will go ahead and suggest certain text lines or helplines that you can go ahead and reach out. Now, Instagram did also imply that there will be a support button that will specifically point out certain contacts based on the country that you're currently living in. And honestly, hats off to Instagram. I truly appreciate this effort because it's a real struggle that many people go through, and it's nice to see a worldwide social media platform acknowledge those struggles.
Yeah, I mean, Instagram did have that issue in the past trying to regulate eating disorder content, and even the social network is often brought up in conversations about negative body image and perception, especially among young people. And I have spoke about this. I have spoke about how Instagram can make you feel that you are not well enough. You don't look good. You don't feel good.
You're not perfect.
You're not perfect, but there's nothing called perfection. You are perfect in your own way. But again, I might be contradicting myself because there's only one perfect person in the room right now. And his name is Umar Al-Douri.
أمنية صالح.
Umar Al-Douri, ladies and gentlemen, the halftime show, the only place to be at 3 T-minus 4 minutes on the clock. Before we hear from the man himself, he's wearing that suit jacket, got the Muhammad Ali t-shirt. Brother.
It looks like it's going to be a fire show today.
Honestly, when you lead it up like that, bro, you bring the fire to my show, man.
Brother, you look amazing.
Thank you.
Did you get a tan?
No.
Man, you look
Can we
good.
go back to talking about the halftime
But
show?
tell me
Did the
about the
halftime
halftime
show get
show.
a
Hey,
tan?
listen, I like the fact you guys were really touching on the fitness side.
Of course, brother.
Future fitness talk.
Future fitness talk. I mean,
Future halftime.
future halftime.
Halftime future talk.
And he
yeah.
looks at me.
And he's like, if you're watching on YouTube, and you
Please
see
don't.
Hani,
Please
saying,
stop.
Like, got it.
stop with the terminology. Stop.
Wordplay doesn't work for you. You don't got it.
It's always good vibes when Umar's in the
Hey
studio.
man, it's great to see your faces and great to hear your show as well. Coming up on the show today, we're talking about food labeling. Now, a lot of the times we go into the supermarket, we pick up something, and we think it's healthy, but we hardly read the food label. So we are
Finally.
breaking that down
I'm
on the
so
halftime
happy
show.
we're talking about this topic.
I like this movement now. I think I'm gonna start doing it. But thank you so much, Umar. We're very excited to see what you have on the show. But ladies and gentlemen, this does kind of end Future Talk for today. But we're going to be back same time, same place, only here on Pulse 95.
If you liked this episode of Future Talk, drop a like and subscribe.
Pulse 95.
Be sure to follow us on Instagram for all our daily updates and top stories.